pouco, mas vamos ver.
Let's see. It might take a while. I can't find a thing.
Zeno. Vai demorar pouquinho.
This could take a while. You might run out of film.
Vegetable oil isn't in the dictionary. German is unfamiliar to both of these men, as is a cashier with a headscarf. They aren't used to Turkish grocery stores in Brazil. Bruno and his colleague are shopping for their evening meal. José is responsible for the household kitty. He also doubles up as head chef. Their employer, German steel giant Thyssen-Krupp, pays their accommodation and expenses. Bruno only arrived here 4 weeks ago. It's his first time living abroad. The West German city of Duisburg is a long way from his family back home.
They were a bit depressed at the beginning. I'm very much a part of the family. But they know that it's important for my career, so they agreed. They know that it's good for me.
Bruno is 23 years old and a fully qualified engineer. But he's never worked in steel production and so far only knows the job in theory. Thyssen has invited around 200 Brazilians to Germany so they can learn how things are done here before taking on positions of responsibility at the new Thyssen plant planned for Rio.
Gilvan here will be doing the same job as me over at the new plant in Brazil. He's going to be the technical supervisor for the converter. Our supervisor allocated me to work alongside him for a few months and show him the ropes.
The steel from the new Brazil plant will then be partially processed here in Duisburg. Production is due to begin next year. Then they'll also have to be able to report the latest production figures back to the headquarters in Germany.
364,000 tons of steel.
Will you work for a Brazilian firm or a German firm?
A German firm with a Brazilian heart.
The Brazilians receive a lot of assistance. A hotline has been set up to clarify any practical questions they have, and 70 interpreters have been hired to translate. But they also sense the weight of expectation. This is the biggest foreign project in the history of the Thyssen-Krupp Steel Corporation.
Obviously, we're here to learn, but we also have to work hard, too.
To prove yourself to your German colleagues?
Not really to prove ourselves. We're here primarily as an exchange, so we learn from them. But they're also learning from us.
For example, that it's quite normal for women to work in the control center, like Christiane, who's currently being told through an interpreter what she's seeing on the screen. For Olaf Kuhn, the control center monitor here, it's quite unusual. There are no women in Duisburg doing his job. At 22, Christiane already has 4 years' work experience in steel production, and she's no exception.
I have no problem with it. Women could work here too.
Why don't they?
I don't know. Maybe because it involves shift work. I don't know why, but I've never really thought about it before.
What's it like to be the only woman amongst so many men?
It was a bit complicated at the beginning, but once you've managed to assert yourself, it's just normal.
In what way complicated?
Well, there's the macho aspect on the part of some of them, but you have to make it clear that it's a matter of respect.
After an 8-hour shift, additional training and sometimes a German lesson as well, the Brazilians usually go down to the local kiosk. The kiosk owner knows them well. Having discovered that people in Brazil tend not to drink tap water, he decided to run a special offer. This sign in Portuguese reads, 5 litres of water for just €1. The three have soon got to know the various peculiarities in the neighbourhood. After 8 months, their time in Duisburg is almost up.
Once I'm back in Brazil, I'm sure I'll miss Germany. We've made a lot of friends here, and people have been very nice to us. Yeah, I really like Germany. When we arrived in January, it was so grey. All the trees were bare, everything looked so dead. But now it's full of life.
Yeah, in August we'll be leaving, the 22nd. Then we'll shed a few tears.
In the evening, Bruno practices his caipirinha skills, while the rest look on. It's not always easy being the youngest in the house, but this time there's praise from Zé, the chef.
Muito boa, cara. Acabou. Poxa, parabéns. Ficou uma delícia, cara.
30 men and 1 shared kitchen. The women have separate accommodation. Engineers, foremen, skilled labourers, they're all living here under one roof. For a couple of months at least, there's no hierarchy, they say. And that has welded the group together, maybe even for the long term.